And thanks for joining me on the Ghanaian Farmer channel. My name is Enyonam. If this is your first time, welcome home. Subscribe and share the link of all the interviews that you watch on our channel. When you see me in town, just call me Ghana's finest farmer. And so shout out to all my farmers across the globe that watches us, all agric enthusiasts, every agric investor, and anybody who is a fan of farming. So long as you eat, you should be a lover of farming. So we are in Sege, and in a week we come here about 2 or 3 times. Myself and my team, we come here like 2 or 3 times to see if the report that our farm manager is giving us is the same thing that we are seeing. So we are back, and I find myself inside the 30 acre. The 15 acre is at the other side, so you might not see that part. So today, or from this week up until next week, this is the progress or the updates that we are going to doing. So you can see the plants are growing pretty well behind us, but then you can also see the weeds competing with the plant. And so it is time for us to do our first weed control spraying, all right, then followed by our first fertilizer. So some of the things that we need to do the fertilizer are drums. You know, there are these big drums that usually people who produce alcohol, or in Ghana we call it akpatesi, they use. So we've purchased some of these drums. I'll let you see it. We also bought a knapsack bag which we'll be using for the spraying. On that day, I pray that I'll be around so I can take videos of it for you to see. So we bought some of these knapsack bag, and we also bought cutlass because as we come around, you get to see some small weeds that you need to cut. You get to see some plants, you need to cut them. And of course, the most exciting part, which we did not actually think about to include in our budget, has to do with our temporal farmhouse that we are putting. It is almost ready. So very soon, I will no more be a Accra girl, but I'll be Sege girl because I need to be sleeping over some of the weekends to wake up pretty early in the morning and make sure that I come on the farm, spend all my time. I'll be cooking here, I'll be eating. So wait for that time to come, and you'll be seeing me somewhere around first week in September. You'll be seeing more of us and more activities being done here because we are inching closer and closer to what the duration that we've given ourselves. So I'll make sure you see the structure from the word go when the carpenter was joining the wood together, covered it with the plywood and then the roofing. We are now this morning I saw he's doing the window and the door. So very soon my self-contained will be ready. But the lesson I've learned is that some of this cost we did not include it in the budget we prepared. So it was unexpected expenditure or expenses, but we need to incur it because you had already prepared a budget. So that's why there are some miscellaneous here and there to cover up for those things. The drums, we didn't prepare for the budget. The knapsack sprayer, we did not prepare for it. Cutlass, hoe, we didn't prepare for it. Of course, but we need them. And this is not going to be the last of this. We're going to do it all year round. So we are even working together with our partners. We are working and talking, already discussing irrigation for the next season because this is rain fed. But for the next season going, you might not get the rain. So you need to prepare for irrigation. So we are working on that. So hey, if you're a new farmer, you should be expecting some of those things. So like I always say, I've got a lot of people reaching out to me, and I want to go into farming. What am I supposed to do? So listen, there are 16 regions in Ghana, and every region has its specialty. So you should, whilst you're watching my channel, you should be able to know what it is that you are drawn towards. Of course, your schedule, or if you're a corporate worker or you live abroad or whatever it is you do, your schedule matters. So you should know your schedule. You should know what you're going to plant. After you have identified that, approach the landowners, discuss about leasing, and then you discuss about soil testing, and then you put a budget together for production. All right, the workers who will be coming to do the fertilizer, we have to pay them. The first fertilizer, the second fertilizer, we have to pay them. When it's time for pruning, hand picking, because with potato you cannot do a lot of hoe, you might end up spoiling the bed. You mess up the bed. So you need to do hand picking. These people need to be paid. So when you're doing your production or your expenses, you need to make sure that you include all that into it. And then please, I am hammering on this. Digital marketing or registration matters a lot. When you realize that this is your passion, you want to do this, please. Ghanaian farmer is being produced by Count on Crops Hub. So there's a company called Count on Crops Hub. It is legally registered. It used to be sole proprietorship. Now it's a limited liability. And so these are flagship projects, the Ghanaian farmer. All right. Aside that, we do farm tourism, we do consulting for agribusiness, we do training, we do conferences, and many other things. They are all services that we render under Count on Crops. And when you go on our website, you will see all those things. So it is very key that you register. My administrator, who is a pineapple farmer, has registered his farm. So when you go to Registrar General and you search for his farm name, it is there. He has even created an account because he was a banker before he even came into farming. So he's created an account. So all the money that we pay Mafles to supply us with all that we were doing, it was through Banco, from bank and then through the company's Momo account. So the records of how we are spending money, it is all there. That way, when you approach someone, this advice is going for the young people who are approaching me, messaging me, and you know, I want investor, and you know, I have a land, I need money, I need funding. If I tell you there is an investor, bring this document. Do you have them? So please, let's work on this. Register your farm, create an account for the farm, create social media. You, if nothing at all, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook is very key. So every time you come around, you put updates over there. There are evidences of things you say you were doing. It is very important. That way, there is transparency, there is honesty, there is visibility. So somebody will be tempted enough to trust you and give you small before they even increase the budget. It's very key. If you want to go into farming and you're looking for partners or funding, make sure you put these things in place. So I am going to bring you all the excerpts or visuals of all the things we bought, the items. I'll make sure you see them so that you can see how judiciously we are managing our resources and trusting God that somewhere in October we'll be able to have a good yield. Of course, that is what we are praying for. We'll be able to have a good yield. I can see the flood is worrying us a bit, but we are also thinking and strategizing how best to manage it. So for farming, a lot of unexpected things would come up. But when you work and prepare towards it, you'll be able to manage it. Now, lastly, it has to do with viewers who watch our channel and call to receive numbers of farmers they see us interview. Listen, when you want a number of a farmer, at times I end up asking you, what do you need a number for? What is the discussion about? Is it something you want us to get involved and be the betweener, kind of, because you are far away and we are here. We know the farmer, you don't know them. At times you don't want to tell us what is it. You only said, oh, I want to talk to him and ask some further questions. When we give the numbers to you, an issue come up, especially when money exchanges hands and there are issues, then you start calling. Please, I'm not up for that. If you take anybody's number, if I happen to give to you, at times I let the farmers mention their numbers. If they mention, you pick the number, you call him, and you do business at my blind side. Don't call me when there are issues. I beg you. Don't call me when there are issues. It doesn't take too much to say that, hey, Enyo, how much will it take you to actually keep an eye on this business I'm doing with this farmer? It doesn't take too much. All right. And then lastly, there's this farmer I interviewed recently, Isaac, who does the is it palm weevil. There were a lot of messages on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Facebook, talking about how dishonest he is, how he's taking money from some people and didn't honor his promise. Please, that's what I'm saying. If you meet a farmer on my channel and you want to do business, whether buying from the person or letting the person supply you something, let me be in the known and endorse that, yes, you can deal with this farmer or you can't. At times, some of the farmers, I meet them once. I don't have that long-term relationship. So how do I even endorse you doing business with this person? Why don't you get in touch with me? I reach out to the agric officers who had introduced me to these farmers, and they will even give me the thumbs up if we can go ahead and do business or not. But when you do at my blind side and there are issues, I beg you, don't call my name. Don't blame the Ghanaian farmer. Carry your own cross, because I guess that's what you want. So wherever it is you're watching us from, Thank you for sticking with us. This is just a small update of what we are doing next on this farm. But I promise that one day I'll bring a drone to give you a whole view. When the greens, I mean, the greens have come, but when they are after our first fertilizer and they've come more, I'll let you see. But for now, thank you so much for sticking with me. My name is Daniela. When you see me, call me Ghana's finest farmer. If you're out there abroad and you want to see me, why don't you sponsor my trip? I'll gladly come and spend some time with you. But I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. We'll come your way again with another episode. But stay glued to this channel. Keep subscribing and watching. Very soon we'll be 3 years old, and we want to spend our 3 years with 30,000 subscribers or even more. Can we do that? Please encourage me by subscribing and watching more. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye bye. Like this ones, they are all weeds. These things need to be, they need to go off because they will be competing with the nutrients in the soil with the plant, which we do not want. So we have to make sure that we remove all these weeds from the plant, and that's it's a lot of work. We have to remove all of them.